To everyone who said she couldn't do it, to everyone who believed Bartunkova would walk away with the trophy today without breaking a sweat, to everyone who doubted Alex Eala's ability to rise to the biggest moment of her young career, this is the moment they will never forget. Because today, Alex Eala didn't just win a tennis match. She didn't just defeat a talented opponent. She didn't just lift a championship trophy. She delivered one of the most unforgettable comebacks of her career and proved to the entire world that heart, courage, and determination can overcome even the toughest challenges. What happened on center court today felt like something out of a movie. A story filled with pressure, a story filled with doubt, a story filled with pain, and ultimately, a story filled with triumph. The kind of triumph that inspires an entire nation. The kind of triumph that reminds every young athlete why they should never stop believing in themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, history has been made, and the name at the center of that history is Alex Eala. As the players stepped onto center court, the atmosphere was unlike anything you could imagine. Thousands of fans filled the stands. Flags waved proudly in every direction. The noise was deafening. The tension was overwhelming. This wasn't just another tournament match. This was a championship final. Everything both players had worked for throughout the tournament came down to this single moment. On one side of the net stood Bartunkova. The rising Czech star had looked unstoppable throughout the competition. She had powered her way through the draw with confidence and authority. Her aggressive style had overwhelmed opponents. Her powerful ground strokes had become one of the biggest weapons in the tournament. Many experts believed she entered the final as the favorite. Many believed her power would simply be too much to handle. On the other side stood Alex Eala, calm, focused, determined. While the crowd could see a composed athlete preparing for battle, only Alex truly understood the pressure she carried. She wasn't playing only for herself. She was carrying the hopes of millions of Filipinos. Every fan watching from home believed this could be a historic day. Every point mattered. Every game mattered. Every shot mattered. When the match finally began, it became immediately clear that neither player intended to back down. The opening games were fiercely contested. Long rallies pushed both athletes to their physical limits. Every point felt important. Every exchange produced gasps from the crowd. The quality of tennis was exceptional. However, as the first set continued, Bartunkova began to find her rhythm. Her forehand became increasingly dangerous. She attacked aggressively from the baseline. Whenever she saw an opening, she took full advantage. Alex fought hard. She defended brilliantly. She chased down balls that seemed impossible to reach. She tried changing the pace of rallies. She attempted to disrupt Bartunkova's rhythm, but the Czech star continued applying relentless pressure. Game after game, Bartunkova gained momentum. Her confidence grew, her shot-making became sharper, and slowly, the first set began slipping away from Alex Eala. When Bartunkova eventually secured the opening set, a wave of concern swept through the Filipino supporters. The atmosphere changed. The optimism that filled the stadium moments earlier was suddenly replaced by nervous uncertainty. Fans exchanged worried glances. Questions began to emerge. Could Alex recover? Could she find another level? Could she somehow turn this match around? The challenge appeared enormous, and unfortunately for Alex, things became even more difficult at the start of the second set. Bartunkova continued playing with confidence. She moved well. She served effectively. She attacked every opportunity. At one stage, it genuinely looked as if the match was beginning to slip away. The pressure was immense. Every athlete eventually encounters moments when their dreams appear to be fading right before their eyes. This was one of those moments. But champions are not defined by how they perform when everything is going well. Champions are defined by how they respond when everything is going wrong. And Alex Eala was about to show the world exactly what kind of champion she could become. Midway through the second set, something changed. Perhaps it was a single point. Perhaps it was a single shot. Perhaps it was simply the realization that she had nothing left to lose. Whatever the reason, Alex suddenly began playing with a completely different energy. Her movement became more aggressive. Her body language changed. Her confidence returned. The turning point arrived during a breathtaking rally that left the crowd stunned. Both players exchanged powerful ground strokes from corner to corner. The rally seemed endless. Then Alex unleashed a brilliant backhand winner that flew across the court and landed perfectly inside the line. Bartunkova froze, the crowd erupted, and suddenly, the momentum began shifting. That shot changed everything. The stadium came alive. Filipino fans found their voices again. The energy became electric. For the first time in the match, Bartunkova looked uncomfortable. Alex sensed it immediately. Rather than retreating into defense, she attacked. She stepped inside the baseline. She took risks. She played with courage. Point after point, game after game, she began forcing Bartunkova into mistakes. The pressure that had been crushing Alex earlier was now affecting her opponent. The tables had turned. Every winner from Alex produced louder cheers. Every error from Bartunkova increased the tension. The match was transforming into a battle of nerves, and Alex was winning that battle. As the second set approached its conclusion, the atmosphere became absolutely incredible. Every point felt monumental. Every rally carried enormous significance. The crowd was standing more frequently. The excitement was impossible to contain. Then came the moment Alex completed her comeback in the second set. With remarkable determination and fearless shot-making, she secured the set and forced the match into a deciding third set. The stadium exploded. Fans jumped from their seats. Cheers echoed throughout the arena. What had seemed impossible only an hour earlier was now reality. The championship would be decided in one final set. Everything came down to this. One set, one battle, one opportunity. Both players looked exhausted. Their shirts were soaked with sweat. Their legs were beginning to feel the effects of the intense contest. Yet neither athlete was willing to surrender. The third set quickly became a war of endurance. Each player fought for every point. Every game was fiercely contested. Neither competitor could gain a significant advantage. The score remained close. The pressure continued growing. The tension became almost unbearable. Fans could hardly remain seated. Every rally generated nervous excitement. Every point felt like it might determine the outcome of the championship. At 4-4, the match reached another level. Neither player blinked. Neither player showed fear. They continued exchanging blows like elite fighters in a championship bout. Then came one of the most important games of the entire match. Alex produced some of her best tennis when she needed it most. She attacked fearlessly. She returned aggressively. She trusted her game. And eventually, she earned the crucial break of serve. The crowd erupted once again. Alex Eala now led 6-5. She was one game away from becoming champion. One game, one final push, one final test. The entire stadium held its breath as Alex prepared to serve for the championship. The pressure was unimaginable. Years of sacrifice had led to this exact moment. Every training session, every difficult defeat, every obstacle she had overcome, everything had brought her here. She bounced the ball carefully. She looked across the net. She took a deep breath, and she began the most important service game of her career. The points were tense. The rallies were dramatic. Neither player wanted to give an inch. Bartunkova fought bravely. She refused to disappear quietly. She forced Alex to earn every point. The championship was still hanging in the balance. Then came the final rally. The moment everyone would remember forever. Alex struck a deep shot into the corner. Bartunkova sprinted desperately to reach it. She stretched. She swung. She made contact. For a split second, nobody knew where the ball would land. Then it drifted wide. The match was over. Alex Eala had done it. The stadium erupted into pure chaos. Fans screamed, flags waved, people celebrated everywhere. And in the middle of it all, Alex collapsed onto the court. The emotions finally overwhelmed her. Years of hard work. Years of sacrifice. Years of dreaming. Everything came pouring out in tears. These were not tears of sadness. These were tears of relief, tears of joy, tears of achievement, tears representing every challenge she had overcome on her journey to this moment. As she rose from the court and acknowledged the crowd, the applause seemed endless. The fans understood they had witnessed something special. They had witnessed resilience. They had witnessed courage. They had witnessed history. When Alex finally lifted the championship trophy high above her head, the celebration reached another level. Cameras flashed, fans cheered, and millions of Filipinos around the world celebrated alongside her. This victory was about more than tennis. It was about belief. It was about perseverance. It was about refusing to quit when circumstances seem impossible. Alex Eala showed the world that champions are not made when everything is easy. Champions are made when they continue fighting despite adversity. Today she proved that talent is important, skill is important, preparation is important. But heart may be the most powerful weapon of all. And that heart carried her to one of the most memorable victories of her career. Congratulations to Alex Eala.